to present a poem. What shall I do?
What will you do? Is this a question? Show that you know the poem and remind them what a poem it is. Well, you know what you must do. Go, confront the problem, fight, win, and call me when you get back, darling. I enjoy our visits.
Welcome to the Poetry Dojo,
where we learn to know our poems.
and learn to wield them, to fight and win.
Today we are considering How's My Boy by Sydney Thompson Dobell.
Sydney Thompson Dobell was a poet in the mid 19th century. He lived from 1824 to 1874, I believe. His poems are usually associated with the unfortunately named spasmodic school of poetry, which emphasized emotional impact, shall we say. At this point, talking about the poem, this may be considered a girl's poem because it is told from the perspective the primary speaker is that of a mother looking for her son. This is in a sailing age when going to sea was a dangerous prospect, even as it might to a lesser extent be today. And a mother would constantly be looking for news telling that her son is well, how he is prospering, and there were no phones, certainly
No lights, no motor cars.
no telegraph lines running out to sea, and so the only word would come by mouth. And so if you wanted to know the health, the state of your child, you would go down to the port and you would look for sailors that were coming off of ships from the sea that might have encountered the ship on which your child served. And in this poem, we have a mother seeking for news of her son.
How's My Boy by Sydney Thompson Dobell. Ho, sailor of the sea! How's my boy, my boy? What's your boy's name, good wife, and in what good ship sailed he? My boy John, he that went to sea. What care I for the ship, sailor? My boy's my boy to me. You come back from sea and not know my John? I might as well have asked some landsman yonder down in the town. There's not an ass in all the parish, but he knows my John. How's my boy, my boy? And unless you let me know, I'll swear you are no sailor, blue jacket or no, brass buttons or no, sailor, anchor and crown or no. Sure, his ship was the Jolly Briton. Speak low, woman, speak low. And why should I speak low, sailor, about my own boy John? If I was loud as I am proud, I'd sing him over the town. Why should I speak low, sailor? That good ship went down. How's my boy? My boy, what care I for the ship, sailor? I was never aboard her. Be she afloat or be she aground, sinking or swimming, I'll be bound her owners can afford her. I say, how's my John? Every man on board went down. Every man aboard her. How's my boy? My boy, what care I for the men, sailor? I'm not there, mother. How's my boy? My boy. Tell me of him and no other. How's my boy? My boy. I think the central interpretive question, if you're going to present this poem, is when does the light dawn on the mother? When does she realize? Does she know going into this conversation that there is ill news to be had? Does she realize it in the first stanza, second stanza, third stanza? That's up to you as the presenter.
And it's up to your interpretation at that point. The strength of this poem is its emotion. Wielding it to win, your task is to make the audience cry. That's really what you're reaching out to do at this point, because it starts out with a woman looking for information. And like the sailor that she encounters, you may not be very interested if you're sitting in the crowd. So you have to grab their attention. I would suggest that the lines that are the sailor's lines be ever so slightly separated from the mother's lines. Do not read it too quickly because it could be confusing. it is, after all, only one person's voice. You need to differentiate between the mother and the sailor who are speaking. And the audience needs to know. The audience needs to realize, needs to find out that this isn't a praise poem talking about the wonders of some sailor lad, but is actually a terrible moment when a mother finds out that her beloved son is dead. That moment, that emotional reaction, her emotional reaction, is what can seize the heart of the audience and bring out tears. Should you do that, you have gone far toward winning.
And that's not going to be accomplished with mere hysterics. You need to give it time to breathe, give it moments of quiet as well as fear.
Should be a growing fear and what are the 7 stages of grief?
I think there's 5.
5 stages of grief. Well, I could go through 7 stages myself. At least 2 of them mean going to the store and getting something to imbibe. The 5 stages of grief, then, it is the 5th that is acceptance, but the denial is the first. And she has no time for the 5 stages. All we're getting is the news, her fear, and that denial of this couldn't have happened, this couldn't be. So work that in if you can. If you are an 8th grade student trying to portray this, and at the beginning I said that this was a girl's poem, but it can be read by a man. It's easier for the man to do the sailor part, and it is easier for a woman to do the mother's part. Nevertheless, either reader, the sex of either reader allows them to convey the import of the poem. But if you're in 8th grade and you're wondering, how am I going to do this? I would suggest that you speak to your parents, speak to your mother particularly, in order to get her insight of how she might react, what she might feel were she to be the one whose child was aboard that ship that went down and all men with it, and use that to grant a better understanding of how you might deliver this poem to win.
Thank you for tuning in. This has been a DieCast Media Group production. Please recommend us to friends, family, relations, but not your competitors. Feel free to email us with questions at poetrydojo@diecastmediagroup.com, and tune in next time for another exciting episode and another fine poem.